moving our arms around, we improve our respiratory system. Okay? I used to smoke as well. By the way, I'm not the healthiest person in the world. I'm not here to preach about being healthy. I'm the worst of you all, or I might have been in the past. But when you turn 50, as I am about to in a couple of days' time, you've got to start paying attention to all these things. Moving around makes the fluid in your legs. Who's got swollen ankles at the end of the day when you take your socks off? Anybody got that? Yeah? You get that? It's because you haven't moved enough during the day. Okay, you need the movement to push the fluid back into the body. Okay? Movement is absolutely key to ensuring good health. My biggest thing is, I know it's okay, I don't see it. Unless you've got herbal tea. A lot of the problem comes from Western culture to some extent. Because we have medicalized pain. We have worked out how to make money out of your pain. Well, not me, but drug companies. Okay? The more, for example, I'll get a little bit political, and I apologise for this, but do you know the largest producers of food in the world are people like GlaxoSmithKline? The largest producer of food in the world is also the largest producer of drugs in the world, GlaxoSmithKline. I don't know if you knew that, but from a political standpoint, it's in the interest of the drug companies to keep people relatively unhealthy. This is not made up, this is not a conspiracy theory. There are books about this, it's well known. Okay? The large food producers also make the most amount of corn syrup, or they might produce meat. All these things can keep you unhealthy. Right? And then they sell you the diabetic drugs to make you better again. Okay? The two best things you can do for yourself to stay out of the GP surgery, to stay out of hospital, to not get caught up in that circle, is to eat better and to move. My whole shtick is movement. Movement does lots of things, as well as improving all the bodily systems. If you move in certain ways, it reduces pain. So certain movements reduce pain. If ever you come and see me, sometimes I might do some pressures, I might do something like that. Certain movements reduce pain. Certain other movements reduce stress. Different sorts of movements, slow movements. And other sorts of movements can improve your health, literally make you less ill. So that's what I'm all about. Everybody that comes to see me tends to get a little lecture. Did you get a little lecture?
Almost.
Most people get a little lecture. Okay?
Yeah.
But it's only because I'd rather you went Nordic walking than came to ask me about your shoulder pain. Because Nordic walking will probably make your shoulder better, accidentally or coincidentally. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So from my point of view, the more Nordic walking you do, the more cycling, any sort of exercise, swimming, whatever you do, is far preferable than you coming to see me. So that's what I'm all about. I don't go to see the physiotherapist. I am for that helps, but I'd rather go for a bike ride. If I've got a knee pain, I'd go out for a bike ride. And that's how I want you to see pain. You try to work what's the problem. As long as you don't do anything that makes it worse. And that takes sometimes a bit of advice. So that's it. That was my little thing. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Thank you. We have got two questions. Any questions?
Question. It's not me about my life. Should you always like the back, the left hand side, the muscle, like the solid wood?
Yes.
What's the reason for?
Have you given your wife a massage?
Yes.
How often?
I did sometime in the morning and in the evening twice with sometimes put a gel, sometimes ice with massage.
And does it help?
sometimes little bit help, then come back again and get hard and solid and very painful.
Is she quite stressed?
Stress.
Is she stressed?
No, that time she said, normally not stress.
Okay. And generally not stressed.
No.
Does she do any exercise herself?
She went to the physiotherapy BRI, the specialist. They show her some lot of exercise about 6 months, then they release. They say, sorry, we can't do anything. This is our highest thing.
Well, so if we just go back to, and I ask everybody to go back to basic principles. I'm saying movement will basically fix everything. The important bit is what kind of movement.
She normally do in the morning half an hour walk, and in the evening like 6, 7 o'clock another 15 to 20 walk, and she continue exercise which physiotherapist showed.
So if they've not worked, they're not the right ones. So we've got to find the right movement. And don't think of it as exercise, it's the right movement. So it might be something really simple that she's missing,
Okay.
but she just needs to find out what it is. So either see another physio, which is fine, what you mean, or try all the movements. Try them all. There's a lot. And one of them might work. That might work. Or it might be something else. So there's, if it's one-sided,
One side, left hand side too much, and right side little bit. She can manage it. Left side.
there'll be something. There'll be something. And if you've been to the hospital, it means there's nothing pathologically wrong with her.
No.
So that means there's
They
just,
did
it just means, yeah. So it just means there's something that she's not doing that she needs to do, and finding that sometimes takes time.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes the draft hits your shoulder when you're sleeping.
No, that's
the
another thing.
Windows, no?
No, that's another thing.
Well, I find it.
Everyone
I'll tell you what that is. We all experience a draft on the back of our neck. You might give us a bad neck. It is coldness just changes how we feel pain. That's all. It doesn't create a pathology. It just creates pain. So you're right. But if you put a scarf on, it goes away.
Or I've been given some exercise to do, and I find the sport life tablets. Every time I do this exercise, they reduce my pain. It doesn't help.
Yeah. But cold and heat, all they do is change how you feel your pain. Sometimes it makes, and what's the difference between putting cold or heat? Does anybody know? Nobody really knows. So we just say whichever one. If you've just injured yourself, then definitely cold. But later down the line, it doesn't really make any difference. Some people prefer heat, some people prefer cold.
I have a question or something. One question? Okay. He had pain in his knee, he had injections in the past, he's come back again.
The injections don't fix your knees. The injections are supposed to be a long-term anti-inflammatory. So, like ibuprofen, lasts a couple of hours. The injections will last much longer, but they will eventually wear off. So you'll need pain.
Temporarily, permanent solution na injection. Injection forever pain feels that. What can be done to fix it?
Nordic walking.
Yes,
Yes.
Cycling.
No.
Okay. The knees, all the body parts, every part of our body responds to force. So who's got calluses on their hands from their job? Who's got when you do a hard job, you get calluses on your hands, your skin gets thick. Yeah? But it's the same with your knees. If you impact your knees will get stronger. Not the other way around. Impacting your knees doesn't make them weaker, it makes them stronger and more likely to stop hurting.
Too busy acting.
Treadmill, you should.
Treadmill, possibly, but and then the problem with any exercise is that it hurts.
No treadmill.
So
If
you
you got bad knees, don't go for that.
Well, what I mean is, because the exercise makes it hurt, it's kind of a way of finding what's the right thing to do. Treadmills tend to cause a repetitive action in this. If I was just to sort of get my fist and bang it like that, I'm just going to hit the same part of my body. Eventually that's going to hurt. And a treadmill will do that. Whereas if you go for a walk, different parts of your knees take different parts of the force because of the slope, the angle, the way you put your feet down will always change. So walking is healthier than a treadmill. The treadmill is just repetition.
ট্রেডমিলও যেন আঠোয় মানে মেশিন লাগাইয়া এটার তাকিয়া নর্মাল আঠা আরো বালা নর্মাল আঠা ডিফারেন্ট পজিশনও আঠা যায় ট্রেডমিলও একই পজিশনে আঠো সেটা কি আর বালা হয় না নর্মাল আঠা হইছে সবটাই কথা
Yes, so cycling is the single best activity for your knees. That's why middle-aged men take up cycling, because it's brilliant.
How about cycling with the machine?
Yeah, cycling machine is also fine, but it's just not as cool. But there's a lot of middle-aged men. I'm a middle-aged man. We cycle because our knees don't hurt when we cycle as much as when we go for a walk. So, and you can cycle forever with bad knees.
One more question.
As many as I think.
Just one question. I have a problem with my shoulder, my right hand shoulder. I think I hurt my shoulder in the gym because I go to gym every day, exercise. Doing wrong exercise probably. I'm a personal trainer. I can't lift my arms like that in here. Is there any special?
Well, shoulders are interesting. They're complicated, but over the years we've realised that all rehabilitation is roughly the same for all problems. Okay? And so being able to do a good shoulder press, which is a dumbbell, lift it up, slowly and carefully, making sure that you not too heavy, is the single best thing for your shoulder. Yeah?